Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is the Narcissistic Resistance, and this resistance video is sponsored by contribution from Anonymous. And this is try number 2. I've already read through this whole thing, and I messed up my sound settings. Took me a while to figure out what it was, but I got it. So I'm not reading this one cold, and this one kind of got me a little bit. If you were watching, you used to watch it without the sound. You probably wanted to know what I was saying. So, hi Ollie, I'd like to be named Anonymous. I'm so glad I found you. Your videos have helped me tremendously. My friends are so sick of hearing me talk about my ex-narc and refuse to listen to my recordings, telling me I'm crazy for recording them in the first place. And after reading through this and listening to the recordings, I'm going to tell you why that is. Okay? I'm sorry, but I need to have my reality validated and someone to tell me that I was just completely mind-fucked and it was not my fault. Let me give you a little history. I recently ended it with my narc after 3.5 years of constant cheating, lying, and massive amounts of gaslighting that almost made me lose my mind. I met him at my work, and at the time I was already in a relationship, but that didn't stop him from pursuing me. I eventually did break up with my live-in boyfriend and happened to have a birthday party for myself after he moved out that I invited my narc to. He, of course, showed up and we ended up getting pretty drunk. Basically, he stayed after everybody left and we stayed up all night talking and we eventually ended up in bed and he never went home to his live-in girlfriend. He moved his whopping 2 bags of clothes he owned to my house the next week, and we were inseparable. He love bombed me so bad that I couldn't get enough of him. And he left his live-in girlfriend to move in with you the next week, and you're surprised by anything he's done at this point. Like, right off the bat, I mean, there's a major red flag right there. You move your boyfriend out the next week. You got another guy coming in. He cheats on his girlfriend, moves right in with you. I started to notice his phone that was always left on silent. He would be lighting up late at night. It would be lighting up late at night. His ex was constantly texting and calling him back to back. So one night while he was sleeping, I answered his phone and asked her what she wanted and that she needed to stop. He was with me now. I was totally on his side and was convinced she was a crazy bitch, which was not true. He lied to me and told me he just lived with her. She was not his girlfriend. I felt her pain as I was that same helpless girl calling him back to back and also getting no response. Well, here's my question. If you thought she wasn't his girlfriend, then why would you tell him he was with me now? Almost gaslighting her. Again, he just moved in. This is within the first month of your relationship. And my overall point, okay, because I know where this all goes. This guy isn't your problem. You are fixating on this guy when you should be fixating on whoever screwed you up to the point that you're going to accept all of this I'm going to read and the first audio clip, because I can't play all 3 of them, and I will explain why after you hear the first one, and it'll be abundantly clear to everybody why I'm not going to play the other 3. After a month of living together, things just seemed a little off. I couldn't put my finger on it. So I played detective to get my answers. I left a recorder in the house while I was at work, and when I replayed it, I was in shock. Here he is conversating with one of our coworkers, totally flirting with her, and basically giving her the same speech he gave me a month prior to get into my pants. First month. You stayed with him for 3.5 years. First month, cheating with his girlfriend pursuing him, moves right in. First month, you see him giving some other girl the same line. Word for word, he said the same things to her, telling her that he is really wanted to have a sit down with her and rub her feet after a long day's work. He also explained to her in detail about him having really decent stamina and that he can't wait to get together with her to prove it. I just fucking lost it. I packed up his 2 bags of belongings and drove to our work. I unload the bags and start to drive away. When he pops out of the car, he is sitting in the parking lot and starts yelling, "What the fuck?" So happens that him and his ex-girlfriend were just chit-chatting it up while he was supposed to be working. Double whammy. I just kept driving and got the fuck out of there. I refused to answer the phone until way later that evening. I told him that was really convenient, her being there just when you needed her to be there for you. Now you could just load your 2 bags into her car and go back to her house. After 2 weeks, I couldn't take it anymore. I was missing him something awful. After a month and a half, again, cheated on you kicked your boyfriend out. He's in the next week, cheating on his girlfriend, to move in with you within a month, laying another girl the same lines, and you're missing him? The problem's not him. The problem is you. And I think that's probably what your friends are going to try to tell you, or trying to tell you, and why they won't listen to your recordings. Because all of this already proves the guy's a narcissistic, cheating scumbag. Your recordings aren't proving anything beyond that, other than you have set the bar so low in your life that you're going to accept some scumbag like this. And when you hear about this guy, he is a scumbag. The problem's not him, though. The problem is you. Whoever broke you in your past. And I'm going to imagine that this guy is probably a lot like your father. I would call him up profusely, apologizing and begging him to come back and live with me. How twisted is that? Here he is flirting on the phone with one chick in the car with another, and I'm apologizing to him. I explained that I would never handle a situation like that ever again. In the future, I would have a discussion with him before ever throwing his stuff out again. How retarded. Finally, he moves back in, and everything is good for a couple months until he then decided he wanted to start disappearing for entire weekends at a time. He would claim to just be out walking the streets getting drunk. Again. Like, this is just so obvious. I forgot to mention, besides him being a narcissist, he's also a serious alcoholic. And you're in love with this guy after a month, cheating on his girlfriend. You move him in, catch him after a month. Then as you're dropping off his clothes, he's in the car with the ex-girlfriend. And now he's disappearing. And he's an alcoholic. Why is the problem isn't him? I think that's what your friends are trying to tell you. The problem is you. These are your choices. This guy isn't some master manipulative narcissist. He isn't this extreme love bomber. It's bullshit. He can drink a fifth of a bottle like it was nothing. He has absolutely no friends, no money, because his paychecks are garnished so bad for child support, he's lucky to get $250 every 2 weeks. And that's what happens. Then he goes to casino to cash his check and ends up blowing the entire check in less than a couple hours. He never helped to pay bills or rent and never received flowers, a card, a gift, a birthday, a Christmas present the entire time we were together. Well, on $250 every 2 weeks, it's kind of hard to buy that. And I'm not excusing the gambling. I hate gambling and I don't do it, but I'm wondering if he was gambling as some way to try to expand that $250. Is he gambling because he's a piece of shit gambler, or is he gambling because the state has garnished his check so hard that it's the only way he can possibly make any more money at this point? I put up with this all just because he was telling me he loved me, respected, and honored me. I thought I was beautiful, smart, and that one day he was going to marry me. Not to mention the insane sex we were having every hour of every day. I know now it's all bullshit lies. So all it takes is to tell for a dude to tell him you love him, he loves you. That's it? The second time I kicked him out, about a year later, I'm at work and he calls me and asks me if it's okay to go over to one of his coworkers' house for a little bit. I tell him to go ahead, I'll be home later. About 2 hours later, he butt dials me while I'm standing in line at the bank waiting to cash my check. I couldn't believe what I was listening to. I listened to a half-hour conversation of him talking to his baby's mama. He's telling her how much he loves her and that one day in the very near future he will marry her, that he has her back no matter what, that if anybody tries to mess with her, they better be prepared to answer to him. It goes on and on. I finally leave the bank and start yelling into the phone, but he can't hear me. Finally, he realizes I'm on the phone and he just hangs up on me. I call him back and of course he doesn't answer. He finally calls me back and I tell him I heard everything, and he proceeds to lie and tell me that they knew I was on the phone and they were playing a joke on me. I explained to him that the jokes are supposed to be funny and there's nothing funny about that whole incident. So when I get home, I pack up his 2 bags once again, realizing this asshole's never going to change. I put the bags out in the car in the driveway yet again. I want to believe I love him, but I am so sick of these blatant cheating games he keeps playing with me and then lying about doing anything wrong. That the shit never happened and I'm just making shit up. What I believed was happening supposedly never did, according to him. Shit just kept getting all twisted at this point. I knew what I heard, and I knew what I heard, but he kept trying to convince me I was interpreting it all wrong. How one person interprets one thing can really mean something else. He was just mind fucking me every possible way where I would start doubting my own sanity. Did I really hear it right? He has the nerve to show up at 11 p.m. later that night, and I refused to open the door and told him to get off my property. He decided to stay in the car with his 2 bags of clothes and continue to keep calling me throughout the night to get me to feel sorry for him because it's freezing outside. He started begging for a blanket, which I threw outside on the dirty porch when he went to sleep. The next day I go starting to feel sorry for him, that he has nowhere to go and no one to help him, besides the fact that he is dead broke. I still let him stay outside for 3 days, making him beg me just to let him in. Making him beg you. See, this is where you become responsible for this shit yourself. If you really wanted him gone, you would have called the cops. This is why your friends don't want to hear this. This is why your friends won't listen to your recordings. Because it's been obvious this guy is a grade A piece of shit from moment one. And you keep making every decision to let him back in. This isn't extreme one love bombing. He isn't some master narcissist. You're playing the game right along with him. You wanted to make him beg. You think you can break him. And you can't. This is why your friends have thrown up their hands and they don't want to hear it anymore. This isn't love bomb. This isn't extreme love bombing. It's not. Not saying the guy's not a narcissistic piece of shit. He absolutely is. He's not your problem. Whoever fucked you up in the past is. Probably your father. Why do you have such a low bar of expectations? Things go good again for a couple months until I hear the next recording. So if they're going good, why are you still recording him? Like, you contradict yourself in your own story. Why are you still recording him if things are going good? If you're doing detective work in the first month, it's hard to feel sorry for you for 3.5 years. An alcoholic getting all his money garnished, then gambles it away, cheating on you left and right. This is on you. This motherfucker never learns. You don't learn. You don't learn because I think you're very stubborn and hard-headed and you want what you want. You want him. He don't want you. He wants the cushy life, but he don't want you. He targeted you because of whoever fucked you up. Because you have such a low bar of expectations. And it's going to get worse here in this story. I tell him he can stay, but he has to sleep on the couch and save money because in 2 months he's got to go for good. 9 months go by with him on the couch, and every weekend he would disappear all weekend long. So I knew he was seeing someone. But at this point, we had not even had sex in those 9 months, so I didn't even care anymore. I just wanted him out of my house. I hear yet another recording of him FaceTiming this girl giving a tour of the house. If you don't care, why are you still recording him? They discussed the wet spot they made on the couch that her kids sat in, gross, and they laughed about it. He showed her my living room and tried telling her there used to be a 55-inch TV in here, and to this day he doesn't know where it is. He implied that I pawned his TV that he never owned. Then telling her to look at this home theater system that he stole from work that retailed for $250, tells her it costs $3,000, and thinks the only reason it's still there is because it's screwed to the wall. You screwed and this is what got me the first, like, you screwed stolen property from your job to your wall. That's possession of stolen property. It's in your house. You know it's stolen. It's from your job. And all you're like, oh well, he lied about it, trying to get laid, saying it was $3,000 when it was only $250, and he stole it. No, you're not coming off very good here. This loser never owned anything, and if he did, I sure wouldn't have sold it. You let him screw it to your wall, though. He even goes as low to talk shit about my Pomeranian, telling her that he doesn't even pet the dog because it's not his. Yet, when I would come home from work, he would show me all the tricks he taught her. New all-time low, lying about the dog. I just couldn't take it anymore. I told him to get the fuck out of my house now over the dog. And that is another huge red flag for me, is dogs. And you should know that if you follow my channel. You step in for the dog, but not yourself. This time, it was different. He was not begging me not to kick him out, telling me he has obviously somewhere to go. I didn't hear a word from him for a good 5 days when he decided to have some chick drive him to my house to get his wallet out of the car in the driveway. Now I'm pissed you want to show some random bitch where I live. Totally unnecessary. What do you care? You kicked him out. See, you're playing a game here with him, trying to break him. He's been a lying, cheating dog from how you hooked up with him. Right? None of this should be like every time he does something, you're like, I can't believe he did. Really? Really? Because this guy isn't a master love bomber. He's not a master narcissist at all. You've set your bar of expectations ground level. He's not your problem. Whoever fucked you up in your past, which you don't talk about at all is. But you want to fixate on this guy. An alcoholic. Everything's getting garnished. Gambles that away. Steals from your job, where you work as well. Cheats on you within the first month. Continues to. Blows a load on your fucking couch. Like, this is not This is not covert narcissist extreme. This is sad. This is why your friends have thrown their hands up and they don't want to hear about it anymore. A week later, he gets jumped and kicked by a group of guys at his work. I fall victim to him again. I think, oh no, he's probably really hurt and he will need to recuperate somewhere, and I let him back in yet again. You thought he got a good fucking ass kicking and he was this time beaten. You can't. This time he maintains for a good 3 months until he has surgery on his shoulder. I wait on him hand and foot for the week after his surgery, and even go as far as to buy him a $500 pit bull puppy for him to have a project training while he's healing. And of course he would want a pit bull. Of course. Every alcoholic, irresponsible fucking asshole wants a goddamn fucking pit bull. And I know there's some pit bull lovers on my... Pit bulls should be banned. I'm sorry. They're a fighting dog, and I understand that there's just some bad owners, but the breed is nuts. You could have the best owner. You can still have one of these things that you raised from a puppy. Go fucking batshit and kill your own kids. They're dangerous. They're dangerous. And the fact that you brought a pit bull now and it's just another red flag. You're giving a pit bull to an alcoholic. That's smart. By the time the weekend hit, he disappears yet again for another 3 days. He also had his phone turned off the entire time he was gone. I had to miss work on Monday because I refused to leave the puppy in the crate all day and eventually had to give it away. That's bullshit. If you missed work because of a dog, that's on you. That's on you. What if you both had to where somebody has to be with the dog at all times? It's a dog, not a child. And this is part of the conditioning of your past. That you fixate on animals. You fixate on dogs. That's not a child. That's not a human. It's a dog. You're supposed to leave a puppy in a crate if you go to work all day. That's just the way it is. There's no reason for you to miss work because of a dog. Because you just didn't want to leave the dog alone. I don't care if it's a puppy. I don't care. It's a dog. That's on you. Not him. You bought him. You bought the dog, right? You made the decision to buy the dog. This time I was done. Another dog incident. I swore this asshole was never going to do this shit to me ever again. His 2 bags were once again in the car in the driveway, and the door never got open for him ever again. I went 2 months with no contact until I finally contacted him to get some answers and some closure. Like, what answers and closure do you need at this point? That's not why you're calling him. You're calling him to get him back again. This is why your friends are done with it. It doesn't matter about the recordings that he's caught, how many because you're not listening. It should have never have gotten to this point in the first place. He was cheating on you within the month. And it's because you're not dealing with your past. Why you are so susceptible to accept all this in your life. Mind you, at the time of this recording I had no idea what a narcissist was or how they operated. It took me going through the ghosting and silent treatment stages to realize I was experiencing the worst pain I have ever experienced. This recording is from that first meeting after kicking him out, and it's true insanity at its finest. It is. It is. But the insanity is going both ways here. I have now been 2 months again, no contact, and have learned so much. I can't believe there's actually a name for what was happening to me, narcissistic abuse, and that I'm not alone. I have learned that none of this is my fault and that he is just truly an evil person. He is an evil person. He's a bad, evil narcissist. But, I mean, he's not some master manipulator. You are, I'm not saying you asked for this or you're to blame and like it's all your fault. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying your past that you're not dealing with and you haven't mentioned is the reason why this happened. Not him. Not him. He is an idiot. Everything you ever said to me was a lie and nothing was real. For someone like myself that happens to have the astrological sign of Cancer, I know this will take me a long time to truly heal from this. I am an over-emotional yo-yo that cares about others entirely too much and tend to cry about this an awful lot. I don't understand how I felt such a connection to this person I never really knew. It breaks my heart. I'm hoping you can give me some insight on this recording. That's not true. A person I never really knew. I think you've known this person your whole life. You've been trying to please this person your whole life. Your problem is you don't know who the original person is, and I think it's your father. I think this guy is a lot like your dad, if I had a guess. So, on to the recording.
Like what?
Me leaving the house and you thinking I'm cheating on you and I really wasn't. Me.
Come on, where the fuck did you go for 3 days?
For 3 days. It wasn't 3 days.
You left on Saturday, you came back on Monday.
No, I didn't come back on Monday.
Yes, you did, you came back Monday night.
See, and this is why your girlfriends don't want to hear this anymore. Why are you even arguing about somebody who's going to disappear on you? Basically admit he disappeared from Saturday to Monday and then argued, oh, well, what constitutes 3 days? Like, it's a ridiculous argument to have. It's a ridiculous argument. Like, you're beyond this. You're beyond catching him and exposing him on this argument. It's beyond all of this. This is why your girlfriends don't want to hear about it anymore. It's beyond it. The guy cheated on you within a month. Alcoholic, spends all his money, does nothing for you, has cheated on you how many fucking times? You are beyond this. That's why nobody wants to hear. You've been validated 1,000 times over, but you don't want to accept it. And you don't want to accept it because you don't understand you're being validated. Why? Because you haven't dealt with your past. That's why.
Because I had missed Monday of work because I had to stay with the dog.
Which you didn't have to. Which you didn't have to do. Which you didn't have to do. You didn't have to stay with that damn dog. You didn't, at all. That was your choice.
You did. You came back Monday night.
Can I ask you a question?
What?
And you know what? I believe in my heart that your landlord will, if he's a good person, will verify it.
What?
That I asked him, I went over and asked him what he...
This guy is the one who love bombed you? Really? Really? This guy is the one who, this is who you want everybody to think tricked you? Really? This is why your friends don't want to listen to it. I'm being honest with you. The problem isn't him, it's you.
Let me in.
When? What are you talking about?
When you were talking about it was 3 days, because I remember, damn, it didn't happen so many times. I think I'm actually getting confused.
You probably are. You probably are.
I remember,
I just know I had to miss work.
It's either two, you wanted to talk, so I'm giving it to you. It's either two scenarios. Either the one time where I went and asked him to let me in the house, or the other time where I stood out there and watched you on your phone with some other cat. and I banged and knocked on the door while Teddy was barking and this and that, and you didn't open the door?
I didn't open the door this last time.
You didn't open the door a few times. Are you kidding me? More than a few times.
No, this last time kicking you out, I didn't open the door. I had to miss work because I didn't know what to do with the fucking door. What was I going to do with the dog? Leave him in a crate all day long?
What do you mean all day long?
What do you mean all day long?
It's not a child. It's a dog. Yeah, you could have left the dog in the crate. Sorry. Could have left the dog in the crate.
We're here to watch. Right? That means I would have to left him in the crate all day.
I could be here to watch the dog if you would leave the door unlocked or something.
How do I know when you're going to come back? You fucking just disappeared. What do you mean it shouldn't matter? Why shouldn't it matter?
That's the same thing I say when I ask you what do you mean it's no big deal.
Dude, how?
And I'm not trying to turn it around. I'm just giving you that.
Jeremiah, you did cheat on me, okay? More than one time, okay?
Well,
more than one time, okay?
You know,
so let's not get it twisted and let's not fucking lie about it and let's not fucking think that I don't have any reason for doing what I did.
We're going to have a straightforward conversation.
It doesn't matter anymore, so just fucking tell the truth.
You said out your mouth.
You got him on how many times? How many times? The fact that you would stand there and have this argument with him is insane. Is insane. Because you're not trying to prove, you're trying to break him. You're trying to get him to love you and he never will. Just like you're trying to get whoever it was in your past to love you. And you haven't made that connection. He isn't your problem.
A long time ago about how you felt about me for one, for two. If having a venting session with anybody is cheating on you, then yes, I did.
If it's have what?
Venting, when you vent and express the way you really feel it.
What?
Okay.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Well, okay. I can't say I flirted, but I can say like this.
Jeremiah, just fucking stop it, okay?
Okay, you
tell me to stop. Stop fucking lying, okay?
You need to stop. You need to stop and realize that's a burning tigers don't change their stripe. Can't change the spots on a shit leopard. He's a shit leopard. They don't change their spots. Who's the insane one here? Within a month, over and over and over again. What are you doing?
It doesn't fucking matter anymore. The fact that you're still fucking sleeping with your ex-girlfriend, because she fucking told me herself after we were together, and that you brought... No, I'm talking!
Yeah, I can, because when I told you that, you still didn't believe me.
When I told you what?
That this woman is married. You still didn't believe me. And
it doesn't matter if she's married or not, she's a fucking tramp too.
Can I say something?
But the fact that you fucking brought home sex toys from fucking work and she's saying that you guys used them first, really? That's awesome.
Can I say something?
And he'll never be faithful to you. Don't think that we're the only two.
Well, guess what? Maybe her marriage ain't working out. I don't know. I haven't.
She sent it 3 years ago. The message came from 3 years ago.
She wasn't married 3 years ago.
That's what I'm saying is you were still sleeping with her before she got married. This was the first fucking year we were together. She said it in December of fucking 2014.
Why would she say something like that to you? And guess what? Guess what I heard about what she said to you?
I believe it. You know why I believe it?
I heard about what she said to you when you kicked me the fuck out.
What did she say to me? I didn't even talk to her.
You said she said we slept together some Wednesday, and before you even knew who it was, maybe unless you did know who it was. But you said you didn't know who that was.
She obviously used to show up at your work quite a bit, okay? Quite a bit.
You have to show, just like you show up. Just like the person before you, before her, they showed up. Of course you got to show up to pick me up. Are you killing me right now?
What do you mean show up to pick you up? You weren't even fucking...
Okay, what?
You weren't even living with her then. You were living with me. That's when I came and dropped your fucking shit off there. And she just happened to be in the parking lot.
So if you're picking me up and bringing me wherever, how am I with her?
You were with her in the car in the fucking parking lot. You got out of her car.
Really?
You got out of her car.
So you mean to tell me that you think I'm that freaking stupid and shallow that I would have sex with a woman, excuse me, using sex toys and shit like that was supposedly stolen from her?
Yes.
You think I'm that way?
Yeah, I think that you fucking totally did. I can imagine how many bitches you had sex with in my fucking car.
Oh, okay.
The fact that you took my fucking car to the Motel 6?
I didn't take your car.
Really? Do you want the fucking proof? Do you want the proof? Because this
He's taking your car to the Motel 6. Like, what are you doing here? What are you doing? 3.5 years of this. And you keep bringing him back. This isn't a master manipulator. The only reason he's lying to your face is because you're allowing it. Because you're standing there allowing it.
not mine, okay? This came out of your motherfucking wallet, okay? The fucking parking permit. It was my fucking license plate number on a Saturday night last July.
And guess it last July.
And if obviously we were still fucking talking and we were getting along if you had my car.
You feel like driving?
Driving where?
To Motel 6?
Why? Why do I want to drive to Motel 6?
They got the computer to verify all that stuff. It stays on the computer for years.
I don't care. I have the proof right here.
That's not proof.
What do you mean this isn't proof? Are you fucking kidding me?
Alright.
Why is this not proof? It's a parking permit for Motel 6 with a fucking date with my license plate number on it. I have never been to the Motel 6 and 5.
I have.
I know you have.
But
On 7/23.
7/23.
Like, if you have the dates, if you saw, like, what is the argument about? Over and over and over and over again. It's been proven over and over and over again. What is all this about? This is why your friends don't want to hear it anymore. Get rid of them. Cut them out. Move on. You can't do it. Because you haven't dealt with your past. Because he isn't the issue he isn't the real issue in your life. Your past is.
Are you serious?
7/23.
July 23rd, which was a Saturday night fucking last summer.
That's like 7 days. That's like 7 days prior to my accident.
This was last year. This is 2016.
16.
This is a year, more than a year ago.
I know every time I've been to the hotel,
You're gonna try to tell me you weren't there in my car? It's right there. Do you think I'm fucking stupid? What? That's not mine.
You're just sitting there arguing with some lying redneck. He's probably thinking, I can't believe how dumb this bitch is. He's just gonna let me sit here and lie to her and stand here and try to get me to admit. You want to know why he's lying to you? Because you're standing there. Because he knows you want to be convinced otherwise. You know you either want to be convinced otherwise or you want him to admit it so you can move on. With him. That's why. But he knows if he never admits it, you just keep asking him. And as long as you're asking and engaging, he's there. This is why your friends are over it. He's not your problem. Your bar of low expectations are. Remember, and I'm going to keep going. First month, he cheated on his first girlfriend with you after you just kicked your boyfriend out. He's in the next week. First month, you're already recording him doing detective work. It's hard to have a lot of sympathy at this point. Alcoholic, gambles, garnished, cheated over and over and over and over again. You got license plate numbers, hotel fucking records. What are you doing? He's not the problem, you are. You're the problem for accepting it because you still don't know what in your past caused it. And I guarantee you, he is a lot like your father.
Never been to the 6 and 5.
You know what? And guess what? I'm not hollering at you either.
I know, but how can you make me think? How can you try to get me to believe that?
Get to the bottom of this. Let's talk about it. Let's get to the bottom of it.
Obviously, you fucking went there to go sleep with somebody else.
Okay.
Because if you were getting along with me, you wouldn't need to go to a fucking motel. The conversations I have of you talking with these other chicks about going to fucking motels, why don't you just fucking admit it? What is the problem?
Because as long as he doesn't admit it, you're going to stand there and he knows you give a shit. Because he knows you give a shit.
Why can't you just, yeah, fucking shit wasn't going good and I fucking slept with somebody else? What is the big fucking deal? Why can't you just be fucking honest? It's fucking right there in black and white. I have fucking recording after recording after recording of you talking to these chicks.
So then what is this about? Kick him the fuck out and move on, but you don't want to move on. That's why your friends aren't listening to this. They know, they got it, they believe, they just can't hear about it anymore.
How can it not? It's your fucking voice.
You know what, Dan?
Why can't you just tell the truth? I don't understand that. Why can you just disrespect me so much and have such lack of respect for me? After everything that I've done for you. Just fucking tell the truth. You're not gonna fucking catch on fire. You fucking cheated on me more than fucking one time. It's off.
You're begging him. Begging him. Why would he tell you what you want? You're literally begging him. Your desperation is pathetic. He's not your issue.
Obvious. It's fucking obvious. So fucking what?
Yes. Of course it's obvious. Case is closed, so what are you doing?
Why do you have to lie about it? How do you ever work through something if you can't be honest?
I thought we were going to let each other talk.
Go ahead. Obviously, if you were still living in this house, that means I still have feelings for you. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been here.
And now you just go out.
No matter what I said to you, obviously, I still cared about you if you were living in this house. Yeah, after I hear you fucking telling some other chick how much you love her and you fucking want to marry her, what makes me think that you want to be with me then? Why are you even with me then? Just because you...
That's a really good... Why are you with him? Don't you see how pathetic this is? He cheats on you over and over and over again, lies right to your face, takes your car, blows loads on your fucking couch, says you fucking hocked the TV that you didn't have, screws fucking stolen merchandise to your goddamn wall. And you're talking about how much you care about him.
Place to stay? Did you ever love me? Did you ever give a shit about me?
More than myself.
Well, then why would you disrespect me so bad? Why would you disappear for fucking 3 days and not and then think you could come back in here?
You know what? I've been really, really, really extremely respectful.
Really?
And I will remain that way.
Really? The only thing you've not done is talk shit about me. Okay? You've done everything else to me.
According to you, I have. And you say you got recordings of me talking shit.
I have recordings of you talking to other bitches. And what you talk about is not just some idle fucking chit chat, okay?
Yeah, do me a favor.
What?
And I don't want if any of them bitches, if you have any other contact with them, contact with them. If you don't have contact with them, if you don't know the bros or whatever like that, I bet you you can tell me their name, I can dial the number. And I bet you this day.
Why would fucking Amy tell me he's lying to me too?
The only thing they can say is, yeah, I sent some naked pictures. If they admit it, they'll say, I sent some naked
Who the fuck is Tammy?
Who is Tammy?
Yeah, who's Tammy?
I know maybe a few Tammys in life, right?
Well, that's the girl that you were fucking taking on a tour of my fucking house.
He's showing women your house.
So, you must know who she...
You're showing women your house and you're still here arguing with him. Telling him you have feelings and like, what would he have to fucking do for you just to like kick him out in there? What would he have to do at this? Like, there's nothing he can't get away with. Nothing. That's not his fault. It's yours.
is.
What, Candy?
Well, maybe it's Tammy. I don't know. But it's Tammy or Tanny. That's who you're fucking showing my personal shit to.
See, if it was Tammy, because I don't know, the only Tammy that I know is my brother's wife. And you sat here and you heard me arguing with this man over that whole situation.
It's just Jeremiah.
Tammy is a broad that tried to sleep with me, tried to sleep with my brothers, was married to another one of my brothers, and at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, before she tried to sleep with my one brother, she was married to my brother that's in prison. The one until he did 18 years. Lied and said me and her slept together, and my mom goes, you know the whole
But I'm saying the conversation that you had about making wet spots on the fucking couch means that you and her made a wet spot on the fucking...
Yeah, so what is this recording all about at this point? Why isn't he just thrown out?
Couch, duh.
If you will let, I have never, ever.
Whoever you were talking to on the phone and giving a tour of my fucking house to is somebody that you slept with.
There is
100%.
There's nobody that I talked to on that phone with.
What?
There's nobody that I talked to on that phone with. But whether you have a recording or not, we've been through the whole thing that I have been like intimate with.
You're a fucking liar.
Can I say something to you?
You're a fucking liar. It's in your own voice.
If it's Tammy, I'm telling you who Tammy is. If it's Tanny, short for Tanyanika Chiquea.
Whatever. I'm saying whoever you were talking to and having that conversation with and giving a tour of my fucking house to is somebody that you fucking slept with. Because why?
That goes back to when I was saying about the whole venting session, about me being able to talk to other folks because I can't talk to you.
Well, why are you talking about making wet spots on the couch?
Wet spots on the couch?
Would you like me to play it for you? Yeah, I mean, come on.
Can I say something to you? If you cannot
You have him on tape talking about wet spots on, like, what is this conversation about? And you sent me another 3 of these. I mean, it would be another, I think, 40 minutes of audio. This is why your friends don't, because this is some circular art, and it's ridiculous. It's stuff that has been proven time and time and time again. To listen to have these circular arguments is ridiculous, because you're beyond this. You're beyond all of this. He's not your problem. He never was. Why would you have accepted him into your life in the first place? That's your problem.
Can I say something to you? If you can't refresh my memory, I probably,
He needs his memory refreshed on whether or not he blew a load with some chick on you. I mean, it's absurd. It's absurd that you're having this conversation.
Dude, you lie so much you don't know what the fucking truth is.
The only female that has been in this house, can I tell you that? The only female that has been inside of this house, period. We can elaborate on as far as the job missing that later, but I'm just saying, the only female that has been inside of this house, I had no chick, formal fashion, intimate, You know what I'm saying? They ain't the Bill Clinton saying
Who was in this house?
Huh?
Who was in this house?
I'm telling you, there has been the only female that has been in this house has been Nick's girlfriend, whatever her name is. Her.
Oh, you slept with her too?
And Sadie. I was just saying, them are the only females been in this house. Outside of
it still doesn't mean that you didn't sleep with anybody else.
Let me take it back. Outside of like, I'm gonna take that back. Well, I can't take it back. I'm saying when you weren't here, those are the only females ever been in this house. The chick. It
doesn't matter. You go and get a fucking motel room. You don't need to be here. You know I'm unpredictable. You never know when I'll show up. You wouldn't be that stupid, I don't think.
So why do you think I care when I know I ain't did shit?
Jeremiah, stop. You did. Where did you go for 3 days? Where the fuck did you actually go for 3 fucking days?
It wasn't 3 days.
Saturday afternoon until Monday.
Why? Why would you have that? It wasn't.
Night is motherfucking days. That is 3 days. I don't know if you forgot how to count, but that is 3 fucking days. Doesn't matter anyways, even if you went somewhere for 1 fucking day, where the fuck did you go? If you weren't out laying underneath some fucking bitch. You can't even fucking answer me. You're trying to think of it in your head, what stupid lie you can tell me and think that I'll believe.
And think that you believe.
Think I'll believe whatever the fuck you tell me. I am not that stupid. Why can't you just say that the first time? Oh, the one that wants to be you and her till the end?
You didn't give me a chance to say
You and her till the end? The fucking translation sheet? That was cute.
You didn't give me
That
a
was
chance.
cute.
Can I say something?
You're obviously still fucking hurt.
I was just fucking who?
The fucking...
And if you were broken up at that point, what do you care who he's fucking? Huh? Look, I'm doing you, believe me, I'm doing you a favor by not playing these other 3 because it's just going to go on too long and it's a circular argument. It's sad. It's really sad to see it. To watch this guy just make you twist and waste your time on arguments that have long past been proven. You can't change them. You can't break them. You can't make them love you. Your problem is your past, not this guy. Whoever damaged you in your past is the problem, and I am suspecting it's your father. And would guarantee this guy is exactly like him. He ain't your problem. Your problem is your low bar of expectations. Your problem is, why were you so willing to accept it up until this day? That's your real question. And I hope you don't take this video as an attack on you or your intelligence. What I'm trying to tell you is this whole thing, this entire thing is not where the problem is. That's why your friends don't want to hear about it. Because this all happened from the get. You knew he was a cheater right from the start. Right from the start. And at some point, after 3.5 years, your friends are like, I can't hear this anymore. Like, yeah, we know. What are you trying to prove? You're not trying to prove anything. You're trying to break them. And you never will. Never. You either gotta move on completely. There is no closure. There's none of that. It's done. He don't give a shit. He's never going to stop cheating on you. You have to figure out why in your past are you so willing to accept it and set your bar of expectation so damn low. So I hope that helps. Thank you very much for your contribution, your story, and your audio. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. Be respectful. And if you want your story read on the channel, You have a topic you'd like me to cover, a narcissist you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up Skype, a phone call, have a private video made, or a Facebook live chat, or you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to help keep it growing, expanding, and surviving, because this channel succeeds 100% on contributions from all of you. Without you guys, all this goes away. So if you like what you see here, you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with the PayPal and email links in the description box. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been the Narcissistic Resistance. Take care.